Hi, Leos, and welcome to your October 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, coming on to talk to you about your lovely month ahead of October. I hope you're all feeling really well and are having a nice sort of aging up, coming of age as we move into October. Okay, Leos, as usual, I'm going to be doing some intuitive messages for you about this month, and then I'll be doing a week-to-week tarot forecast followed by an extended reading on Patreon. Let's talk all about it. So, intuitively, I think October is meant to be kind of a grind month for you. There's something kind of grinding. There's something of a just like powering through to get to this better place that you want to be. It's like a bridge for the sake of a bridge. And I think that the main significance of October is going to revolve around, I don't know, cherishing what you actually want more than the current accomplishment, okay? Because the bridge is basically built, and by the new year of 2022, the bridge is really going to be built, and it's going to start feeling strange to be like, just like being like, I'm building a bridge, but there's actually like 17 different bridges and no one needs a bridge. Like now they need to like build the city or something. So I kind of feel like that's also where you're at as well. Like this isn't about building the bridge to the island. This is now about starting to structure the island, starting to structure something much more grand and much more vast than what you were previously working on. And that's going to be the main intuitive, I think, insight for this month. But, to talk more about it, I feel that Libra season and Scorpio season, both for you in 2021, are questioning how you express your power, questioning how you spend time, energy, money, questioning how you have chosen to basically heal now. It could be a little bit frivolous, but also I think it's appropriate. So there's kind of this like philosophical thing coming up for you this month where it's like, do I need to try this hard to heal? Do I need to spend this much money? Do I really need to spend, I don't know, $20,000 on a retreat in the Caribbean to like be healing? Do I really need also to have a, I don't know, $2,000 a month mortgage to be in a house that I feel is capable of healing me? And what does it mean I have to do in order to facilitate that? And is that causing a damage? And do I kind of have this like gridlock going on where, yes, I'm healing through some type of like bourgeois experience, but at the same time, in order to keep generating that reality, I have to be inflicting new wounds to deal with in the future. This is something that can be discouraging to look at right now, but it's really poignant to see because you can actually make some adjustments right here, right now that make it work out just fine. Like even if you feel that your bills or your bottom line is a bit higher than you'd like it to be, I mean, join the club. Everyone feels that way right now. It's kind of part of the current economic system. It's very, very difficult to not feel that way. I mean, you have to like really make a few sacrifices and be like totally off the grid or like live with family or something. I don't know. Or like live in a communal type of system. And those also have their difficulties. So this isn't about being like, okay, I've got to sell the house, or okay, I've got to lower my means and be more minimalist in order to heal. But what this is about is maybe getting some of the frivolity gone. Okay, so maybe it's not about getting rid of the house. Maybe it's about that, I don't know, coffee bill. Maybe it's about that incoherent way that we move through the grocery store and spend 40% more than we have to. Maybe it's about, you'd be surprised about how it racks up. Maybe it's also dealing with any type of consumerist culture. Maybe that's getting revamped for you this month. Leo is quite a consuming sign because it's very, I'm not going to say dependent. It depends on who you are, or like it's not every Leo, of course, but it likes nice things, the Empress. And that is in the reverse for you this month, along with the Ace of Pentacles. So you could accidentally spend too much and have to like work your way out of that for like months. That one swipe of the credit card that takes months to work off is a real thing to be careful of. We have Mercury retrograde. We have a debilitated Venus. We have a debilitated Mars. Okay, coming out of September. You don't need anything right now. I'm kidding. There are some people who do, but anything that's not a blatant necessity, I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend home buying, car buying on impulse. I wouldn't ever, but especially not now. But by the end of October, moving into like November through February, there's some good space there. even into March and April of 20. I mean, there's gonna be the time to like revamp and see the result, but I think that this month is more so about pulling back, and I think you've maybe got some things to produce, create, or overcome this month. So it's not going to be through like buying that thing that happens. It's going to sort of be through calming down a little bit and working with more creative ways to conserve what you're being granted, because there is a gift for you in the month of October. Ace of Pentacles. It's been coming up for a lot of people. There's been a lot of aces this month. There's been a lot of death energy. There's been a lot of Hanged Man energy. There's been a lot of the World coming up in the extended readings. There's been this very strong echo that things have changed, and we can't really process it yet. We're not going to really see how much they really did until we get hindsight with this current period of time, but they did change at this point in time. Okay, things did change here. And how we are dealing with that, the sobriety that we need in order to be with that, the clarity, the reserves, the savings, the hard choices that are not hard choices, but we dress them up like that. Like, if I don't get that type of apartment, if I don't get that type of car, if I don't get that type of thing, I'm not going to feel right. But wouldn't it be nice to have like the flexibility to do what you really want to do, because money is not such a central construct of your life? I do think that the construct or role of money in your life is stressed in this month, and you can overcome it very easily just through thinking like, what do I really want? And what types of things contribute to that? It's a very simple formula here, but we can complicate it with certain fears of scarcity. So know what a fear of scarcity is and know what true scarcity is, and try to be able to differentiate, and that will get you into the right place. Let's go ahead and talk about your week to week, Leo. So week number 1 of October, Queen of Swords rooted down by the 7 of Wands. Okay, so communication of opposition. There's been so many swords court cards coming up this month, and it's saying to me that we now need logically capable, sober, clear people in our court now. This is not the time for that person, that yes man, that person who's saying yes at every single thing, that person who also is saying no, like just the optimist or just the pessimist or just the 2D cutout type of person. We need more complex, logically adept, puzzle solving types of people in order to work our way through this period of time, because this period of time is a bit of a riddle. Okay, there is a riddle coming out of this time, and by the time we hit Sagittarius season, that's going to climax. So it's also a good little foreshadowing for you that this is not just a cut and dry time. There's something looming about it, and that's why having such clear-minded, logical people is good to offset that. So first week would be a great time to, set that as a deliberate type of goal for certain relationships. Like if you're in a love relationship and you're married or something, maybe it's a good dialogue to have with your partner. Like, okay, we got to just really be clear about things. We can't waste our time on petty arguments. We can't waste our time on competitions. We can't waste our time on money disputes. We have to actually know what the trajectory of our life is right now. And there's a myopic tendency that I'm seeing right now that distracts itself with like, this is what our bank balance is now. This is what you did to me yesterday. This is how I felt when you looked at me that way. This girl that I work with, she looked at me like she was crazy. How do I go back into my job tomorrow and like face that? And this is all a complete derailing of the very perfect, very precise, longer trajectory that we're meant to be working with now. It doesn't matter. None of that matters right now. It doesn't matter. Like, what matters is the quality of the present that we will be creating in the future. So how my present life is in 2024, do I like that based on this current trajectory? It's good food for thought, isn't it? Second week and first week is basically a great time to fight it out, even in your own mind. Like if you're like, gosh, I don't know if this is the career that really puts me where I want to be. I don't know if this is right. Like just kind of let it go back and forth. Give yourself time for that inner debate. Inner deliberation is what that looks like to me. Logical inner deliberation, less emotional, more logical. Week 2, more Swords Court, Knight of Swords, rooted down by Ace of Pentacles. Very logical with expenditures, investments, time, money, energy. It's not about like, well, gosh, I would just love to go on a spending expedition with the credit card. I mean, not many of us are really doing that right now anyway, but you'd be surprised. I mean, because of how inflated things are, because of how hard it is to maintain through that, like, we can spend way more than we expected just through making small decisions. I don't think that the currency or the dollar can go very far right now, so we might as well not even spend it. It's an interesting thought, and to what degree we can. It's basically a really good time to communicate a new bottom line. Like, okay, yes, there are these necessary expenses that we all have. Now, I'm going to pull off some of these frivolous sides of it and really see how much further I can advance my cause, knowing what really is necessary for me. So it's a good time for budgeting, basically. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't advise on anything like that. Never listen to someone on YouTube about philosophy there, but it's just kind of a good generalized idea right now to really be careful about what you're losing track of within spending of money or energy or time. I think that people are really losing track of some small little things that could really be a make or break difference for like February 2022. But it's pretty short term, actually, because that's not that far away. But I do feel that everybody wants a kind of big, vast becoming at that time. And it's hard to look back at this time and see that we were not really well prepared for that, or that we were frivolous leading up to a need like that. So yes, and in the third week, you have the Three of Pentacles rooted down by the Empress reversed. It is really about humility, I think. Careful about being too overimposing or being too big for a situation, being too far senior or too far above other people, as your sign typically is that way. It's just something that is not super well received right now in general. We've got to really be reciprocal to some degree with other people, kind of giving them back what they're putting in. So reciprocity is a big keyword in the third week of October, right when we're hitting Scorpio season. How can I give back what I'm being given? How can I, in a way, mirror the people around me, or kind of be what they need? I mean, it sounds kind of like inorganic or inauthentic, but there's something to it at this time, okay? Not being basically standing out like a sore thumb, okay, is difficult for Leo right now, as you guys do, though, anyway. Like, you don't really blend in very well, typically. But the third week, I don't know, dressing down might be good. There's something about a minimalist look. There's something about a natural look. There's something about an organic version, okay? So think about it. Think about what types of clothing might feel better. Think about what types of expression might be more real and in a way more reflective, okay, of those around you or something. It seems strategic in some way. Week 4, Eight of Pentacles, rooted down by Seven of Swords. You got to make sure that there's a quality to your output right now. Definitely, there's got to be maybe a little bit more time spent working and a little bit less time carrying what is not real or carrying what is not authentic. Okay, so spending more time with what you actually want out of life will give you so much more. And it sounds so simple, it sounds so easy. But I'm seeing a lot of Leos like being like, I got to do all these million things on the side in order to move towards what I really want. And you're losing the trajectory of what you really want by being too focused. Like, basically, we would rather be in Eight of Pentacles than we would rather be in Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a very difficult, uncomfortable place to be. A lot of readers might associate that with like a thief or something being stolen. It can be that, but I also read Seven of Swords, and I feel it more to be this in your reading, where it's like you're just maybe carrying some too many sharp things. Sometimes people sign themselves up for way too much. Like a brand new entrepreneur will make like 3 companies or something, and they don't even know what a company is, or they don't even know how that legal structure is. To me, that's reminiscent of Seven of Swords. They own something that's really powerful and really complex, but they don't really know what they're carrying at the same time. And they may not know how to use it right. They may not know how to wield it. They may make errors. They may kind of like have to go through a series of trial by fire in order to go through that. And I see that with Seven of Swords too, basically trying to do too much, trying to move your evolution or growth too fast. And Eight of Pentacles is kind of like what Seven of Swords really needs. It's like more of a quality focus, more of a content focus, more of a quality quantity combination. Because Eight of Pentacles does have quantity, but it's caring deeply about what it creates at the same time and being less focused with some of the frivolous components of it. So quality into what you really want. It might be good to start that new book there instead of trying to start a new business, okay? And then it depends. I mean, if you're a savvy entrepreneur, maybe it's time to start a business instead of starting a book. But basically what really makes sense for your further momentum needs to come into existence for Leo by the 4th week of October, because Scorpio season wants to set us onto a new path to some degree this year. So let's talk more about that new path for you and your extended reading on Patreon, Leo. I will be seeing you over there. If you haven't checked out the Patreon page, come check it out. I do bonus weekly forecasts. I do these readings early and ad-free, and there's a lot of fun stuff over there, so I'll link it below and in the center of your screen now. Have a wonderful month, Leos. Bye.